everybody. I'm Carolyn Clifford in for Frank Turner.
And I'm Robbie Timmons. With the primary behind them, the two remaining candidates for governor will spend the day celebrating with supporters and looking ahead to the November election. It is now Jennifer Granholm versus Dick Posthumus. And the winner will take over the job that Governor John Engler has held for the past 12 years. Action News reporter Kimberly Craig is live at the Ponchatrain Hotel to tell us how the Democrats are still celebrating some big wins.
And they are celebrating. Robbie, Granholm is making history here in Michigan as the state's first female nominee for governor. But now comes the big showdown.
I'm ecstatic, obviously, and surprised. I was surprised by the margin of victory. Thought it was going to be a very close race because I'm up against some tremendous opponents. And so it means, I think, that people are just ready for a change.
At a breakfast for the Michigan Democratic Party, Attorney General Jennifer Granholm spoke to a crowd excited to see her move forward in her campaign for governor. But although supportive of her, there were, of course, some disappointed rivals. Former Governor James Blanchard came and left early.
And in fact, he gave me a hug. He was very gracious, Janet as well. So I wish them well. They are great stalwarts of the Democratic Party. I've learned a lot from them. They made me a better candidate.
Will you consider running again?
No, I've had a long, blessed career in politics.
Granholm says she's looking forward to taking on Lieutenant Governor Dick Posthumus in a campaign where he has said that he is the candidate for working families.
This administration has been the one to turn its back on working families. They've been the party for the big corporations, the big insurance companies, the big drug companies. Where have they been? It'll be an interesting conversion. I'd love to have that discussion with them.
Mayor Kwame Kilpatrick endorsed Ricardo Solomon for Wayne County Executive, but says he's supportive of Sheriff Robert Ficano, who seems to have pulled out a victory.
We've been very thankful and very humbled by it.
You know, he'll be a dynamic leader over there. I mean, for the first time, we can have a real relationship between the city of Detroit and Wayne County.
And it appeared Benny Napoleon and Ricardo Solomon were no-shows here at the party's breakfast. But attorney Jeffrey Feiger did show up, even though he did not receive the party's support when he ran for governor and won the nomination. Reporting live in downtown Detroit, Kimberly Craig, Channel 7 Action News.
All right, Kim, thank you. Well, the Republicans are having their celebration luncheon right now over in Novi. Last night, the Republican candidate for governor, Dick Posthumus, celebrated his victory early in the evening. He easily defeated Joe Schwartz for the nomination and will now face Jennifer Granholm in the November election. Now, this morning on Action News, Mr. Posthumus told Eric Smith the major differences he and Granholm will battle over.
I've said I am going to strongly defend not changing Proposal A. Jennifer Granholm says she's going to change it. That means allowing property taxes to go up. I've said, look, we made a promise to the voters in 1993 not to let that happen, and I'll defend that.
And we will certainly have much more on the Republican celebration tonight on Action News at 5. But right now, the city of Detroit is still counting the votes. A new computer system has slowed down the process, but Detroit hopes to have final numbers as soon as possible. Action News reporter Val Clark is live now at Cobo Center with more on that story. Hi, Val.
Hi, Carolyn. You know, election night is supposed to be nerve-wracking for the candidates, not for the people in charge of counting their votes. But now, a long, sleepless night has turned into an anxious day. The election day glitches that so often hamper Detroit's count seem to be a thing of the past. But somewhere during the process of using tabulation machines mandated by the state, the gremlins struck again. With 37,000 absentee ballots at stake, the County Board of Elections has been up all night, doing it the old-fashioned way. Among those anxiously awaiting an official count, Benny Napoleon, who thus far has not officially conceded his loss in the county executive's race to Robert Ficano. They are still in the basement of Cobo Hall, very tired but yet very determined. Again, they're pretty busy, and so thus far, we don't have any official comment, let alone an official count today. Reporting live downtown, I'm Val Clark, Channel 7 Action News. Robbie, back to you.
Thanks, Val. And the final tally on the smart bus millage is not in yet. Voters were asked to vote on a tax that would keep the bus system running in Wayne, Oakland, and Macomb counties. The smart bus proposal would raise $44 million for the system to stay in place. And a bit later in the newscast, radio host John Mason will join us with his thoughts on the election.
Well, both sides of I-75 near Livernois have reopened after a horrible crash. A man driving a stolen car became airborne and actually clipped the top of a semi-truck. Action News reporter John Kleekamp is live from Detroit's southwest side now with more on exactly what happened. Good afternoon, John.
Good afternoon, Carolyn. The Detroit police and Michigan State Police doubt that any Hollywood action writer could have scripted a more spectacular stunt than the incredible crash that took place here this morning, shutting down I-75 for several hours. Michigan State Police tried to recreate the deadly flight path of the carjacked Chrysler, which crash-landed in the northbound lanes of I-75 early this morning after bouncing off the roof of the southbound semi.
Definitely a coincidence, and one I'm sure that truck driver probably hopes he never relives. I mean, no doubt about that.
The truck's driver was not injured in the accident, but he didn't want to talk about it either. Detroit police say the driver of the stolen Concorde was killed on impact, but his suspected accomplice got away. Detroit police say the second man fired on police and bailed from the car. They chased him, not the stolen car. Meanwhile, say investigators, the driver took off down Cavalry Street, going the wrong way at a high rate of speed. He hit the curb of the service drive to I-75 and went airborne, beginning his fatal flight that ended on the opposite side of the freeway.
I've done about 130 since I've been in the reconstruction unit, and I would say this ranks amongst the top 4 or 5, no doubt about it.
Detroit police say they found 2 guns here at the crash scene. They believe one of them was used to carjack the car earlier this morning. The car's owner, we're told, was not hurt in the carjacking. Obviously, the same cannot be said for one of the men suspected of stealing that car. Police say they are still looking for his accomplice. Reporting live from Detroit's southwest side, I'm John Kleekamp, Channel 7 Action News.
Thank you, John. We have seen the horror of September 11th. Now we're able to hear what actually went on in the Twin Towers. An audio tape worn by an FBI informant was being recorded at the very moment the planes hit. Let's set this up. The informant is trying to get evidence on a tax assessor during a morning breakfast meeting. We have to warn you, the tape is disturbing because some of the most telling sounds are the background noises.
Let's get on here.
The FBI informer and the tax assessor made it out of the Twin Towers. The tax assessor was later arrested as part of the FBI investigation. And while other airlines are cutting back on flights September 11th, Spirit Airlines is thumbing its nose at terrorism. Every seat on every Spirit jet will be absolutely free on September 11th. The airline started taking reservations this morning. And for more, let's go to Action News reporter Kristen Smith live at Metro Airport. Kristen?
Robbie, what would you do if someone said, hey, I'm going to give you a free plane ticket? You'd take it, right? Then what if they told you you had to use it on September 11th? Well, surprisingly, that hasn't discouraged thousands of people who plan to do just that. They're getting free tickets from Spirit Airlines. They're getting back up in the air, and they're standing tall against terrorism. You couldn't tell by looking at the ticket counter, but seats on Spirit Airlines filled up at warp speed this morning, especially since they're free.
Wow. I think that if you have somewhere to go, you should go.
I heard about the deal. That's why I'm here.
And has anyone unknown to you actually...
A deal passengers couldn't pass up, even if it means flying on September 11th. Spirit is offering free one-way or round-trip tickets for every seat on every plane that flies on 9/11.
I would. Yes. Probably the safest time to fly in the whole year.
People are always going to have that feeling that something's going to go wrong, you know, from this point forward. But hopefully with a few incentives, it'll get better. You know what I'm saying? We just can't sit around being scared the rest of our lives.
Well, where would you go for one day? Atlantic City? Yep. That's exactly where Catherine Pelkey and her coworker are headed, flying out for free on September 11th and back a few days later at a bargain rate.
It's $57.50 each.
Yeah.
You can't beat that. Now, here's the deal. Here's how it works. All tickets, round trip, one way, whatever, are free on 9/11. If you choose to fly back a couple of days later, you're going to have to pay for that return fare, but Spirit is offering it at a discounted price. We have a phone number for you. Spirit Airlines is at 1-800-772-7117, but you're going to want to call quickly because many of the flights are already sold out. and Spirit doesn't know how many more seats and how much longer they'll last. Reporting live from Metro Airport, Kristen Smith, Channel 7 Action News.
You know, that's going to be a tough day.
It really is, and that's one way, you know, maybe you're saying I'm not going to be threatened by terrorists.
Right, just getting out there and continue living. We're still to come on Action News at noon. A major recall this afternoon involving a popular dessert. We'll have the details for you coming up next.
And I'm Claire Lake at the New York Stock Exchange, where better-than-expected earnings from tech bellwether Cisco Systems are inspiring more buying down here on Wall Street today. I'll have a live report coming up after the break.
He was their teacher, a father figure, a mentor. Now he's charged with sexually assaulting his students, and there may be many more victims. I'm Bill Proctor with a live report coming up on Action News at noon.
Well, yesterday we hit the lower 70s. Today, the upper 70s as high pressure brings us a northeast wind that may scatter a few clouds around. We do have a warming trend in store, though, as we head for the weekend. I'll have the 5-day coming up.
Now, here's a look at what's ahead on Action News at noon.
Chris Rock, Jim Carrey, Bernie Mac, Bette Midler, Will Smith, our favorite funny people. Next Oprah.
Today at 4 on 7. Cleaning gutters is a dirty and dangerous job, so why do it? You can put an end to this dangerous chore. Call Leaf Guard now at 1-800-LEAF-GUARD and save 50% off installation labor. No leaves, no ladder, no equal. Call 1-800-LEAF-GUARD for the gutter that never clogs, guaranteed.
Hey guys, let's get this meeting started. Give me some ideas.
Get sexy windows. Okay, do your little thing.
Ow! I just dance.
There's your idea.
I am not dancing. Hanson, where are you?
Hey, buddy, do me a favor. Show him how it's done.
Okay, boss. This month, get windows for $169 plus no payments for 3 full months. Call 800 New Windows now.
Hurry to Children's Orchard for the back-to-school sale. Children's Orchard has unbeatable prices on gently used kid stuff from Gymboree, Little Tikes, Play School, and more. We buy and sell from smart parents like you who can't spend a fortune on things their children outgrow too soon. And now our back-to-school sale means an extra 20% off our already low, low prices on our huge inventory of resale clothing.
It pays to pick the Orchard.
For the store nearest you or franchise information, call 1-877-RESALE-2.
Are you ready for some Hank? Mr. Monday Night Football.
Friends are coming over.
Friday, August 23rd, Freedom Hill Amphitheater in Sterling Heights. Looking for a party. Here comes Bo Seba. The 5-time entertainer of the year. Get reserved seats now at Freedom Hill Ticket Office, Ticketmasters, or by phone. Here comes Hank Williams Jr. Let's party.
A major recall involving a popular eatery, the Cheesecake Factory, has recalled its cheesecakes because they may be contaminated with Listeria bacteria. The cakes are also served at the Olive Garden, but have not been sold to any restaurants here in Michigan. If you'd like more information on both of the recalls, you can log on to our website at detnow.com.
Well, today is an indicator of what the stock market has been going through. Wall Street has not been able to hang on to early morning gains. Claire Lake is live at the New York Stock Exchange now with the latest. They started up high, and where are we now, Claire? Hi there, Robbie. So much for follow-through. That's right. Stocks are racing. The bulk of their early gains spurred on initially by a better-than-expected profit report from Cisco Systems. But take a look right now. Dow Jones Industrial Average struggling to hang on to the plus columns, up only 16 points, with the NASDAQ lower by about 2 points in the session. We're live at the New York Stock Exchange. I'm Claire Laker. Robbie, back to you in the studio. Okay, thanks, Claire, and we'll see you tomorrow. And just ahead on Action News, one of Detroit's top radio personalities will join us in our studio to give us his take on yesterday's primary and the election process.
Boy, by the looks of this crowd, you think Michael Jordan is playing, but you know who the man is. We'll have details coming up.
And Mary Kay takes a sneak peek at the weekend. She'll have your Doppler 7 forecast when we come right back. Don't go away.
Everything you are about to see really happened. Tonight on ABC. This is where children's lives will be saved. This is ICU. Tonight.
Celebrate life's simple pleasures with Bob Evans hotcakes or our Rise and Shine breakfast. Made fresh, delicious, and served all day. Only at Bob Evans.
If your son or daughter has been diagnosed with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, there's good news. The American Academy of Pediatrics guidelines recommend stimulant medications to treat ADHD. Certain types of these ADHD medications have been safely and widely used for over 40 years. Today, some once-daily medications effectively control symptoms through 12 hours and minimize the peaks and valleys patients may experience. Call to learn more about an ADHD treatment option that is consistent with the American Academy of Pediatrics guidelines.
Our doctor prescribed a once-daily medication for my son's ADHD. We didn't want him taking it in school.
My daughter takes her medication once in the morning. We're seeing consistent symptom control all day. She eats well, sleeps well, and is really making progress.
For a free video and information on a once-daily ADHD treatment, make the call that may make the difference.
Spend an evening with one of America's all-time favorites, Paul Anka. Friday night, August 16th at Freedom Hill Amphitheater in Sterling Heights. The timeless music of Paul Anka. Hit after chart-topping hits. With music that memories are made of. Get reserved seats at the box office, Ticketmasters, or by phone. An evening with Paul Anka. Freedom Hill, where the stars come out at night.
Now's the time for home fix-up. And now's the best time to make LeafGuard a part of your home improvements. LeafGuard is America's #1 clog-free gutter system. Have LeafGuard installed on your home right now, and you'll save as much as 50% off installation labor. It's seamless, stronger, and you'll love the look. Call LeafGuard today at 1-800-LEAFGuard. No leaves, no ladder, no equal. The one and only LeafGuard, the gutter that never clogs, guaranteed. Call 1-800-LEAFGuard now and save as much as 50% off installation labor.
Today's weather is brought to you by Wallside Windows. Most preferred, most referred.
It's a Wallside Windows First. No payments till January 2003. Plus, we'll pay the interest till January 2003. It's the most exciting offer of the year, and it gets even better. We'll take an additional $150 off when you buy 5 or more windows. Ask your salesperson for details. But hurry, because this offer won't last. No payments till January 2003, and Wallside pays your interest till January 2003. Call 1-800-521-7800.
The longtime owner of a karate school in Clinton Township now finds himself on the defensive. The man is in court today charged with molesting some of the boys who attended his karate classes. Let's go to Action News reporter Bill Proctor live outside of the court in Southfield. Good afternoon, Bill.
Good afternoon. The charges today come from the statements of 2 youngsters who say that they were sexually assaulted between the ages of 14 and 16 while under this man's tutelage. One of the boys who took the stand today said this man was shaping his life.
Showing more self-discipline, more self-confidence, more respect towards other people, living a courteous life.
This youngster was the first to testify against 42-year-old Denolius Dino Kane, the man he said he had no choice but to respect as his teacher, but feared reprisals and punishment, he said, if he didn't follow the man's instructions. Dino maintains a dojo, a storefront where he teaches karate, but the boy occasionally slept at the man's home. That's what he told the court.
And your mom knew that you were going to Mr. Kane's house to do this?
Yes.
And she had no problem with that?
Yes, she did.
What the boy says, the sleepovers resulted in sexual abuse and unwanted physical contact that woke him from his sleep.
Why did you wake up?
Mr. Kane was fondling me, so that's why I woke up.
And when you say fondling you, was he touching you in any place specifically?
He was touching my privates, yeah. It wasn't the first time, so, I mean, I was obviously, every time I'd wake up and I'd go, oh, man, it's happening again, and, I was kind of going, I was like, why is this happening? And I'd always think, what can I do to stop it?
After the statements today, he was bound over on 3 counts of criminal sexual conduct, 2 victims here. But this is a Michigan State Police investigation. They have already talked to as many as 12 other victims that may result in more charges. Reporting live in Southfield, Bill Proctor, Channel 7 Action News.
Tiger Woods is back in Michigan with some of the biggest names in pro golf. The Buick Open is about to tee off in Grand Blanc, and today is a Pro-Am day. And Action News reporter Monica Jackson's there to tell us about some starstruck fans. You're among them, I'll bet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and thanks a lot, Robbie. Yeah, you don't have to be a big sports fanatic to know anything about Tiger Woods. All you have to know is he is the man, and there are a lot of kids here who think so, too. Check it out.
Tiger Woods.
How about you?
Tiger.
How about you?
I'm here to watch everyone.
Every glimpse at Tiger as you walk by?
Yeah.
think?
I wish you could sign things, our stuff, so. Yep, I just really wanted him to sign, though. But at least I got to see him. Yeah.
Did you see him, too?
Yeah.
Yeah? What'd you think?
He's really cool at golfing. He's really good.
And yeah, he is a really cool golfer. And like I said, you'd have thought this was a concert here for a rock star. But again, Tiger Woods is the man. Everybody's waiting to see him. And you can see the crowds. They're just huge here at the Buick Pro-Am here in Grand Blanc. We're having a great time, and I think Tiger Woods is having a great time, too. I'm Monica Jackson reporting live. Oh, let me just give you some statistics here. Tiger Woods shot a 6-under par 66 in the Pro-Am. How about that?
Wow, that's really good. Yeah, I heard that he teed off like at 7 o'clock this morning.
Wow, he was out there that early, and you know people were lined up to see him.
Sure.
No doubt about it. And great weather for golf and everything. Oh, this whole week, yes, it would be nice to have some tee times lined up this week, I think. You know, this morning, though, was chilly. We started this day at 48 degrees in Ann Arbor and 46 at White Lake. Temperatures now are slowly climbing, even with all the sunshine that's available. Still holding at 69 for you in Pontiac. It's 70 in Windsor, 70 in Port Huron, and 69 in Adrian. Visible satellite review is showing what those northeasterly winds are doing. Coming over the water is creating a little bit of cloud cover scattered about. That'll be the case throughout mid-afternoon, and then a lot of those clouds will fall apart as we go through the late day hours. High pressure is situated now over the Great Lakes, and see how the clouds and showers kind of rotate around the high. All of this activity in eastern Minnesota and western Wisconsin is trying to move east, and it's continuing to break down just because it's moving into a very stable environment across the Great Lakes region. So we stay high and dry today. Just a few passing clouds, 78 degrees in Salem, 77 in Detroit, and in Centerline about 76. So the setup today is a little breeze northeast at 10 to 15, but that high tomorrow sits right on top of us. So all day sunshine is available for us, and that creates a warming trend because the winds will be lighter. And the storm system I showed you to the west weakens, and the rain stays away during the day on Thursday. This front is going to have a hard time holding together and moving closer to us. I think it could bring us clouds this weekend. Maybe a shower, but not a big deal. It'll fall apart. Sunny intervals today, 77 with just some passing clouds. Tonight, our last cool night, 55 in Detroit. Head to the suburbs, closer to 50 or maybe 49 degrees. And the 5-day forecast, oh, it's going to be nice. Tomorrow, near 80 with sunshine, low 80s on Friday. That weak front moves in Saturday and Sunday, maybe a shower early on Sunday, but not a big deal for us at all. And temperatures by then get near normal, lower in middle 80s.
All right, looking forward to the weekend.
All right, perfect.
Well, Mason is next. We'll be right back.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Wallside Windows. Get 100% fusion welded vinyl replacement windows factory direct. Call 1-800-521-7800.
In construction, you need the perfect foundation. Tools, colorful materials, a tasteful roof, and satellite dish.
Brownberry builds a better sandwich because Brownberry is slow baked for fresh taste and hearty texture. Brownberry, where great sandwiches start.
When life's greatest pleasures are found in its simplest moments, celebrate them at Bob Evans. With Bob Evans' own hot cakes and Oregon berry fruit topping. Or our Rise and Shine breakfast. Made fresh, delicious, and served all day. Another reason life tastes better at Bob Evans.
Homeowners, Perfect Mortgage promises we'll loan you the cash you need to get out of debt in 1 hour, guaranteed. At the best rate in Michigan, only 7.25%, even if your credit is bad. Plus, if you call 1-866-9-PERFECT before Thursday night, your appraisal's free and pay 0 points in closing. That's 1-866-9-PERFECT for 1 hour approval, 7.25%, 0 points, and free appraisal. Perfect Mortgage, the fastest way out of debt.
Need new window treatments? Then House of Blinds and Drapery says, why wait for new blinds when you can get minis, verticals, honeycomb, even woods made in 1 day with 1 year to pay? Plus, during our huge sale, when you buy any one of these blinds, you get a second one free, even Hunter Douglas. And if you call 1-800-4BLINDS, one of our talented shop-at-home decorators will come to your home free. Blinds in 1 day, 1 year to pay. Free shop at home.
House of Blinds. Nobody does blinds and drapery better. Nobody.
Prime Outlet's Birch Run has more for back to school. Add it up for yourself. More top must-have brands at amazingly low everyday prices. More selection, store after store of the ultimate in back-to-school cool. your free More card for extra savings and even more great offers. Play it smart for back to school. Get more of the famous brands kids love at Prime Outlets Birch Run.
This portion of Action News is brought to you by Quest Research.
I'm 50. Being diagnosed with Parkinson's was devastating. It took my family to convince me to participate in a research study. I didn't know what to expect, but what I gained was a greater understanding and hope for my future. I'm back in control. I've even started a new business. Do what I did. Get involved. Together, we could all make a difference.
Call 248-353-7770.
And joining us now to size up the primary election is radio host John Mason of KISS 102.7 FM. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, indeed. You know, Jennifer Granholm easily won the Democratic nomination for governor. We know that. According to our Action News Detroit Free Press exit poll, only 28% of Detroit voted for Granholm, while the remaining 72% went to Jim Blanchard and David Bonnier. You can see it right there. Now, what we want to know is, you know, Detroit always votes Democratic. So who is this really going to help? Is it going to help Granholm or is it going to help Posthumus?
Oh, it's most definitely going to help Jennifer Granholm, because what she's going to offer Detroit was what the Republicans had taken away. Most Detroiters are concerned about the takeaway of the school board, the legitimacy and the right to vote, to have that sanctioned by one person who can wave their hand and make a call. She promises to bring that back. Obviously, the Republican Party is still running with the same plan, saying that that's a no-no in Detroit. They don't need the right to vote. First of all, it's racist. It's unconstitutional. She promises to bring it back. She knew that. There were 4 other school districts in much more trouble than Detroit, and Detroit was the only one punished in that manner.
So she has definitely distanced herself from Governor Engler and said, I'm not going that way. I'm going in an opposite direction.
Absolutely. Came on the show and said that as well. We knew that all Democratic candidates talked about that.
A lot of discussion this morning, I'm sure. What were the listeners talking about today?
A little surprised that people played up the fact that Detroit didn't come out too well for her, but the two gentlemen, obviously, Congressman Bonnier and
Blanchard.
former Governor Jim Blanchard, had a lot of roots in the city. But now that the split is over, you know, they're going to run with Jennifer. Jennifer used to live in Detroit, both east and west side.
Well, she still has an office there.
You're right. Yeah. So she's got deep roots. She's a mother. She's female. That plays well in the African-American community.
Okay, now what about the Wayne County Executives race? I mean, you know, did Detroit go with Benny Napoleon, or they weren't surprised to see that Robert McConnell pulled it out?
Detroit went with Benny, but here's the deal. We all knew the deal up front. Too many African-American candidates split the vote. Crabs in the barrel. They were going to pull each other down. Although, with all that being said, McConnell had good roots in the city of Detroit, too. He's done a good job as the sheriff, and he stayed out in the city of Detroit, making himself visible all the time.
And so nobody was surprised over Benny just falling
by the
wayside.
No more than maybe seeing that Benny would be a little closer. But the fact that vote was split was what we knew all the time would happen.
Okay. Thank you very much for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Mason in the morning, 102.7. We'll be listening to you. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching Action News at Noon.
And enjoy your afternoon. I'll see you at 5.